We are live, Aaron.
Woo!
So while we are waiting for people to join, since there's a little delay, we have this opportunity to talk about either squirrels or true crime. It's your choice.
Oh, and talking about that, of course, you know what a group of crows is.
Yes.
A murder, right? That's
Crows are my
cool.
favorite. I've been trying for the entire pandemic to get a pet crow. You can see I'm even manifesting it behind me, and I haven't had any luck yet. Hey,
That
Neva,
is something.
how are you? How are you? Good to see you, Eileen, Dorothy. We've got people from all over already. Michigan. Libby's going to be so sad she missed you. So happy. Hey, Mindy. We've got other team members here. That is exciting. So I'm going to hide that little comment. We have some very exciting news to share with you guys today. Hey, Maria, we have other creative team peeps here. You're right on time. All of a sudden, we just show up and you're all here. Oh, I'm jealous, David. I love New Mexico. New Mexico is my favorite. Hoping to get back there soon. I know we try to put Aaron in all the boxes, but sometimes it doesn't work. So sorry about that. Aaron, they want you to pop out of their subscriber boxes. So
Yes. And Libby asked because on that video I had a Premier Kit sticker on. So she said, wait, are you part of the
I
box?
know. We're trying to deliver all these things that you guys want. So all of the subscribers who are here in the chat already, you already know the news that now we have a premium kit option, which is going to be one of the things we're talking about today. And I'm super excited because, and I know there are some of you in the audience who feel this same way, that if something has a butterfly in it, I'm going to be all over it. So I was all over this month. And the premium kit, which we're going to show you, is especially butterfly-y and excellent. And you guys obviously loved it too because you bought them all. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
But we're going to go over all those options now, what the difference is between the regular kit and the premium kit. And Aaron is actually going to show us all of these fun butterfly things. And I brought my cards too. So we're going to show you lots of cards today. And Maria just said the rub-ons. And this is how we all feel. All of us who were crafting in the late 1900s and have loved rub-ons for like 40 years are super excited that Hero Arts has embraced rub-ons, Aaron.
I'm with you. I remember the era of rub-ons as well. And I think the hilarious thing is that everything comes back around.
I
Like
know.
there's very few techniques that actually go out. Just like clothes, like those bell bottoms I never thought would come back from the 70s. And somehow they made a resurgence in the 90s and the 2010s.
And now
Yeah. And I think rub-ons are much cooler than bell bottoms personally.
I would like to use rub-ons in my bell bottoms because I've always loved bell bottoms.
Yeah.
But what's cool about rub-ons that is when those things come back, what's different is we're using different products at the time that they come back than we were when they first came out. So for example, I wasn't art journaling when I was using rub-ons in the late 1900s. And now we have all these great journaling opportunities that we can do. And I know Maria feels me on this because she's a mixed media person too. Rub-ons are perfect for mixed media. So maybe you should talk a little bit about Hero Arts and mixed media before we get started.
Sure. Absolutely. I think that, mixed media is something that's elusive. Like I think that I do mixed media because I'm a photographer and I collect pieces of, beautiful paper and ephemera that I enjoy. And I think that someone else would say that they're mixed media artists because they work with journals or planners. And yet, still other people are artists, work with paints and sprays, and they feel, that they're in the mixed media area. So the wonderful thing of mixed media, I think, is that the the canvas can be pretty much anything, and
Mhm.
that's why it feels so freeing uh, in so many ways. Hero Arts has been associated with card making almost from the start in 1974. It was kind of the idea that united everything we did, was just that format, that A2 card, or different size cards, but nonetheless a folded card. And so, in some ways, mixed media has always been a little bit in the background, but all the materials, like we've done rub-ons, we've done sprays, we've done pastes from the beginning. We did rub-ons many years ago. Shrinky dinks.
Shrinky dinks. Oh my gosh. Talk about a happy, crafty memory. I was cleaning out a desk when our power was out last week, and I found some shrinky dink plastic, and I was so excited.
Yeah.
It never goes away, those fun little crafty accessories that we love. I'm counting on you to bring brads and eyelets back personally. Who's with me? Please put it in the chat if you would like brads and eyelets to come back, because I've been sitting on this for 20 years.
Yeah.
I have plenty of them in my closet. So
Right. And how much ephemera do we probably all have,
I
craft
love the scent.
supplies, from the, just strips of paper or
Yeah,
old books or old newspapers.
yes.
And, it kind of, to me, that's from the same era, the rub-on, the ephemera
Mhm.
pieces, all of that stuff. So it's nostalgic, and yet, just like the bell bottom may be cool and hip again. Again, for me, it's never
Exactly.
cool and hip, even back then. But still, just as that example, I think mixed media is just a wonderful extension, using all the supplies we already have and love, using all the supplies that we're nostalgic about. Because I was there with you, Lydia, back in
Yep.
1900 when we were doing this stuff. So I think it's wonderful to revisit the old styles, the old techniques, and kind of what becomes nostalgic becomes new and hip again. And it's very fun to ride that. And so for that reason, we're doing more mixed media products, mixed media focused. Another way to say it is a more diverse set of canvases
Mhm.
that you can do your art, your craft, your creativity, uh, in addition to folded cards and paper.
Yeah. And for me, I'm a small canvas person. That's why I like card making. And
Yeah.
so I think you can get the best of both worlds, whether you're somebody who likes to work in journals or you you love that small canvas. You can use all of this. You can use all the rub-ons. You can use the Hero Pearls, which are my current favorite. All of that stuff works great, as great on cards as it does in other larger or different formats. So I think that's kind of where we find our mixed media groove. And Essie is in the comments saying she loves ephemera. I love ephemera too. We might need some ephemera in addition to the rub-ons. Now that I have you as a hostage here,
You do,
I
yes.
can just ask for things. So, and I know I'm making you feel old saying the late 1900s, Gail, but I mean, how many people get to say this around the turn of the century? So I'm just going to keep saying it. So,
So
so this
true.
month, one of the things that I think people would like to hear, I love this theme this month
Mm.
for the kit. It's like I said, if you come out with a butterfly stamp, I'm buying it, period. It doesn't matter. I love them all. But I'm kind of curious, and I think people would like to know, like, what goes into coming up with the month's release theme? So for the February theme, how did that take place? You guys sitting around and talking about how this would be a beautiful butterfly theme.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that really the joy of working in this industry, and specifically at Hero Arts, is so many creative ideas every day, like so many different kind of inspirations that we come up with. And it's not just people who are creative or card makers or designers. I mean, it's pretty much, it's the marketing team, it's the operations teams, it's fulfillment people, it's the accounting group, it's customer service. It really kind of lives with this idea that we're a creative company. And I've designed the company. Laura and I have run the company as a creative company. And not all companies are that way. Like some companies are, and I don't mean this as a bad word necessarily, because they can be effective too, but more corporate, more policy oriented. We're a little bit freer specifically by design in order to allow the free flow of ideas. And it's such a wonderful way to operate in a business every day, because there is never shortage of great ideas. And really the challenge is, okay, how do we take the 1,000 of ideas we
Yeah.
had today and really take one or two or three that we really can get done, in a year, but for this month, or for the next MMH that we're planning. And so I think lists are created. Lydia knows, because she's a great contributor to our creative team. And we ask, ideas. What are you hearing from the market? What would you like to see? Our design team, our in-house designers, they have ideas. They look at Pinterest. They do kind of audits of like all the colors that are really exciting right now and all the products that are being used. And kind of, this gets all thrown into the soup. And then, themes. We often try to take, I think it was a while back, but I think Neva pointed out that, butterflies have been endangered recently. And so that's something that's very important to kind of the style of hero arts and the strategy of hero arts, is to really be as environmental and push ideas that maybe make our world a better place. That's why we have bees. Notice that we have bees in our a lot of the things that we do. So things like this really influence us. We've done many reef related programs that we believe is very important to raise awareness. And so things like that really motivate us. And the reality is we've got a long, what we call a big list. I think there's like 90, there's like at least 90 MMH ideas on that big list right now. And the trick is, this is the hardest part, I think, is doing something that we haven't done before or done in a new way. Especially October. October is really challenging because October is typically holiday focused.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can you do Christmas in a new, creative, different way?
Right.
And we've worked hard to do that. We've worked very hard to be sure that it's always a new idea, ideally a new technique, a new look, a new style. And so obviously butterflies are popular, but we've done them. We've done so many different butterflies, and we wanted to really do it in a new way. And so when we can get that angle, new techniques like the Rub-ons, new products like the Rub-on, maybe the window die that comes with it that I think is really stunning. That's kind of the centerpiece of this kit. Or the layering stencils. We haven't done butterflies that way before. And so when we can kind of get all those elements, which is a great theme that we knew Lydia was going to like, then I think we can really kind of decide, okay, this is the one idea out of the 1,000 that we have that we're going to actually take to commercialization. So the idea is really kind of multifaceted amount of kind of contributions that really make it happen. And sometimes they're really like pulling teeth trying to get them done, even though the idea is great.
Right.
Because you want to make it different, and you want to get the right mix, and you want everything in the kit, and you want to be sure that people can, have versatility, not just make like one card from the kit. We don't want to guide you. We want to inspire you to use your own creativity. And so that's really the challenge. And so ultimately butterflies rose to the top and came out of that.
Well, Wendy asked a great question that I actually do not know the answer to this as a creative team member, which is how far in advance do you plan the monthly kit? So when was the butterfly kit born?
Yeah, the butterfly kit was actually born last summer. So probably September, October is when it was kind of locked in. And then designers work, say October, November, during the winter when there's not many butterflies out. Just like Christmas, like we're working on Christmas, like in the next month or two, as summer's hitting.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So always ahead. And then, we've got to get kind of products finalized at least 2.5 months in advance so we can get the products in the hands of, I see other creative team members in addition to Lydia, Maria Willis, Jennifer Cotis. We've got to get those to you guys so that you can then show your excitement and joy. It's a real contribution. And sometimes we want to be sure it's working out. So we might even, make fine course corrections. And so you need at least 2 months ahead of time to have everything ready,
Oh, yeah.
products ordered, after that kind of initial development process. So we had all these materials in-house in early December,
Wow.
ready to go, but we've got to coordinate the whole thing, get them all shipped and ready to go, except the stencil. We had to redo the stencil that's in this kit, which I'll tell you about, which is why there's no samples for it. But sometimes things like that happen, but we had enough time and now we have it. We didn't get it into Lydia's hands so she could create a card with it, but we have it available now for the release. So little things like that necessitate that you have about 6 months ahead of time, you start the planning process for any kit.
Right, and I'll say, that the team also can play a part in that, because once you get it in everybody's hands, then you're gonna get feedback, on all of those things, and so that it's important to, like, you even back that up in the schedule, and I think that I know as a crafter before I did this kind of work, I thought stuff just appeared the month that it was available to buy, and that there wasn't all this planning and testing and everything that goes into bringing a product like this out. And so just so y'all know, that's a long timeline. So,
And we manufacture. We're a little different from other companies in
right,
that way, in that some of our competitors, they kind of source out everything, and that's a great way to run a business too.
right,
Some ways it's easier.
right.
We make it hard on ourselves, but we make things, and because we make things, we also have to kind of slot production
Mhm.
time. In some ways, it can be much faster, and in other ways, because we can, turn the presses on, make
Right.
more, and other ways you need more planning because you have to kind of be sure that you've got kind of the staff focusing on the right things. And
Mhm.
if you're making cling stamps or stencils, clear and ink are also local, then
Right.
you've got a little bit more flexibility, but also it
Sure.
requires more complex planning in order to manage that process.
Well, I apologize. I don't have the name of the person, but it caught my eye when this comment went by, that someone said they love having a wood block rubber stamp back in their hands. And so just a little bit of love for the Hero Arts commitment to keeping those wood block rubber stamps around. They are much loved. So,
Yes, and I love them too. That's my favorite format,
mhm.
mainly because that's what we started with. It's kind of the core of who we are as a company, and we still have the World War II 3-ton rubber stamp presses humming
Right.
along every day. If you ever come and take a tour of Hero Arts, I would show you those presses. You probably can see them on videos as well, um, and that I've done before. And it's a wonderful part of the process. It's
Yeah.
100% all natural rubber. We use sustainable wood blocks. We hand cut and hand assemble our wood stamps right in our facility, and that is really kind of a badge of honor for me.
Yeah.
And the
I agree.
cling is the same way; it just doesn't have the wood block. Obviously, we press that cling rubber in the same way. And yeah, so for me, that's kind of a really exciting part of what we do.
And I think the cling stamp, so you guys will see when Aaron goes through the samples for the kit, the just eye-popping background clings that we always have, but especially this month, the big butterfly wing, the all over butterfly stamp, which I love. And then that in combination, I think I'm being completely biased, but I think that the bold prints background stamps are just the best there ever was. I think those are amazing. And that there's probably a big difference between designing a background stamp for cling rubber than there is for photopolymer. Do you think that's true?
Yes, I mean, I think yeah. You cut out just for a second, but I think your question was there's more demand for photopolymer at the moment, for sure, if that was what your question was. And wood continues, though, to have a very important place in the craft industry. And that is places like Joann Stores, which is really new crafters
Mhm.
Paper Source, which is really kind of focused on a lot of wedding. They definitely have a commitment to woodblock stamps. And the old time stamp stores, they continue to carry wood. But the reality is, I think that a lot of the newer stores find that clear is more demand, especially for people who are enthusiasts who really enjoy card making and stamping because of the storage that goes, the storage
Oh, for
easeability
sure.
of clear. And so a lot of people have replaced their wood. And so we've made less wood. Now that's not by choice. I'd rather make, more wood. Just I remember put everything in wood.
Yeah,
But it's really only for certain markets now.
right.
And but we're not going to give up on it. And it certainly is steady. It's not declining. It's
Yeah,
steady after it really did decline. Given the growth around
right.
2006, I think, of clear. But remember, for the majority of our history, it's going to be 50 years in 2024. For the majority of our history, we just made woodblock stamps. It's
Right.
only recent. It's only since the re-advent of the bell bottoms, yet again, has clear come back. There was clear in the industry, even before that, but it was a bit thing. It was like custom stamps, and people didn't like them, and they weren't very good, and they yellowed. But then about
Right.
2006, the technology got better, and they really have excelled. And clear stamps have a beautiful place in crafting and all that we do.
The what I will say as a person who loves mixed media is, to me, a photopolymer background stamp and a cling background stamp actually have two really different purposes for me. So I'll show you one of my cards later and you can see what I mean. You can do very different things with those two types of products. So to me, they're two separate types of products and I need both of them. So I'll just put that out there. There's lots of love for the bold prints in the comments going by right now. So,
Great.
well,
Yeah.
let's take a look at what we have this month for our beautiful butterfly theme. Do you want to go through one by one?
Sure. Yes. I'm excited too. This is my first time doing that because this is usually
No, it's usually Libby.
it's usually the Libby show, so it's live with Lydia and Aaron instead
Yeah.
for the spotlight today. And so I'm excited to present it for you and with you. So if you have any tips or suggestions while we go, please comment.
And before you
This is my
start,
maiden run.
I want to
Yes.
remind everybody that we are doing a giveaway. So and I am watching all of your comments on the sidebar, and so is Tammy. So we are going to draw our winner from the comments. So be sure and chat with us. We get very lonely. We're very needy people, Aaron and I. And so we need to see your comments, and then one person will win a $50 gift card, and Tammy will announce that. So don't forget that. So yeah, let's do it. Let's start with the kit. What do you think?
All right. Yeah, let's do it. So, like Lydia said, this is the first month that we have two options. So, all of our subscribers are now classic subscribers because before this, we had just one kit to choose from, and our subscriptions were only for that kit. And so, this is the classic kit for this month.
Love it.
And the classic kit, of course, for anybody who's received a kit before, it comes in this bag with this white
Which I
top.
love. Let me just say, who loves the bag? Show us your bag love. I love that.
And so the materials here, I've got them out, so I won't take them out, but the materials here, right, it comes with this kind of really fun, and I think kind of a hot trend now, which is the color layering stencils. It comes with a message set, a 3x4 message set. Comes with this palette reactive pad. Now, let me talk about this just briefly because I think that this is a pretty exciting part of our line and what we do. And that is reactive ink has really kind of taken off for a lot of people. And in our developments, there are colors that are possible in reactive and techniques that are available in reactive that are just not available in the same way with even core inks, even our kind of standard dye and hybrid line. And so for that reason, we've been playing with kind of reactive colors. And I think that you'll find that given the the depth and the ability to spray and change the colors, you really get this wonderful mix of kind of lighter and watery and reflective inks with reactive, which, if you ask me, is perfect for the Majestic Butterfly. And so for that reason, this was a great link that we had. Notice also that this has a palette top, so it's got a divided top. So if you pull this out and you brush in there, and then you can use the palette top to mix colors, add water without getting water on your pad. So the palette top is really specifically designed with those dividers so that you yourself can kind of mix colors as you like.
I
So
think
this
a
is
lot
something.
of people miss the palette top, Aaron. I'm just saying. I think that that's such a great feature of those ink pads, especially if you're somebody like me that likes to paint. And I think people just see that lid and they don't understand that actually is a working palette. And I think it's genius.
Great. Yeah, I think so too. I think this is something that we've been kind of waiting a long time to get. The reality during COVID is, I don't know if people remember last year when we launched our new color line, there were so many delays because plastics were hard to get. Now we are
Mhm.
using a special grade of plastic that has minimum recycle content. So ours were especially hard to get. So that's why our color line was delayed. So we had this palette idea many years ago, but we haven't been able to implement it until just recently. So we're really excited, kind of behind the scenes, like Lydia said. Maybe people don't even know it kind of went under the wire because we weren't really talking about it. But now we're getting this palette top. It's on all of our core inks. Can't see it, of course, because it's a frosted top. But as soon as you open those core inks up, you get the palette top. And of course, our reactive ink pads make even more sense because then you can open that up and mix the reactive with water, given they're specifically water reactive. So this is a really fun pad. It's a unique pad, only available in this kit. And then I absolutely love this kind of window die. Again, this is in so many ways the idea that got us going on this whole odyssey to make the Majestic Butterfly a kit, is that we just had this idea. Lydia and I were talking about this ahead of time. You know how there's groups of things like a murder of crows? It's a kaleidoscope of butterflies. Now, is that the coolest thing you've ever heard?
It's the
Well,
coolest thing I've ever heard. And I just heard it today from
yeah,
you.
and this to me is the kaleidoscope of butterflies. If they all kind of fly off, you kind of see just the sky turn into kaleidoscope. So for us, this was the whole idea behind the kit itself. And then of course, some butterfly wing colors. We have a whole series of really beautiful papers. Papers are hard to source these days, and yet we work really hard to get colors that kind of work really beautifully with the ideas that we put together. So that's the classic. Now, of course, you as a subscriber, if you subscribe this month, you got an automatic upgrade to the premium kit. So the premium kit has all of the same things that we just showed, but in a new bag. So it's going to be a black zipper, so you can tell the difference. It's going to come with the premium sticker on it. So this is what everybody got upgraded for February too. And I'll show you the extra ingredients, which comes with all the classic things that I just showed, plus
the subscribers got a heck of a deal getting automatically upgraded.
Yes. And so talking about, where do ideas come from? Our systems guy, Ty, actually came up with the idea. He was like, hey, why don't we give everybody a free premium kit? Because we can't really explain it in words what they're going to get. And we are like, oh, yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
ideas can come from anybody. All right. So the premium kit comes with the rub-ons that Lydia talked about. 4 sheets.
I know. They're so beautiful.
Yeah, with instructions on the back, little premium sticker. You can see that. And I think this is really wonderful. So it's a great throwback in the most kind of, designer forward way to really give that nostalgia feel to the kit itself. Obviously, the kit works beautifully without them, with the color laying stencils. But for the premium purchasers, and in this case, that's all subscribers because everybody got upgraded. That is a wonderful addition. There's also this fabulous collection of butterfly fancy dies. And notice that they have outline frames, which work with I can't match them all up now, but they work with the rub-ons as well.
Yeah, that
Right. So,
blew my mind. So just so y'all don't miss that, if you put the rub-on a piece of cardstock, and then I left my dies clipped together, line up your die on top of the rub-on that you just put down. And here, let me switch views so you can see what I'm talking about. This is insane that they did this. So this rub-on was cut out with the dies clipped together. So look at that embossing detail that you get on the wings. Do you see that? Plus, it cuts the whole thing out at the same time. Like, I've never seen a product like this. Never. And I'm old. I'm really old.
you're not that old.
That is an amazing combo of products. I'm a huge fan. So
Great.
okay,
Well,
carry on.
well, thank you. And I just want to make record for the point. Lydia is very young. She's one of the youngest at heart people that I know, and years pass for all of us, and they do not show on you, Lydia.
Thank you, Aaron. Checks in the mail.
All right. And then we have, this is kind of a little experimental. This is a mixed media product. This is a fuchsia and gold duotone spray. So basically, what is this? This comes in powdered form. So notice there's no water in it yet, which I will explain right now what to do with, but it comes in powdered form. And this is basically our dye ink in powdered form with a gold metallic mica. So gold metallic mica is something that is biodegradable, by the way, and it, as is dye, it's all water-based. It's water-based inks, and the thing that's interesting about it is it's speckled. So they're speckled gold additives, basically, to your fuchsia dye ink in a spray bottle. So what does that do? Now, unfortunately, and I have to apologize, this is one of those things that we didn't get to Lydia and the design team in advance. So you don't see any samples out there yet with this product. So I want to just quickly show you. If you add water, which I did to this one, right? So there's the mica where you can't really tell the real color because that's a powder. And this is with water. I just did like an inch below the top, and you can really do whatever you want. Notice that the mica settles on the bottom. So there's so you just shake it up. There's a BB in there. I love that sound.
I do too.
Such a fun sound.
I know.
Right? And so you hear it. So now it's shaking up, and now the mica is mixed in there. So it's that beautiful fuchsia color.
It is.
With that gold. And here I've sprayed it here on this card. My first recommendation, and this is just a test spray to be sure the mica that's mixed in. But then the second spray, notice, look at that gold that shows through the fuchsia.
That is gorgeous.
And that one's kind of done close. So I did that spray about, I don't know, maybe 6 inches from the paper. So it's very intense, right? And if you do a little further away, notice that this is the mica spray from about, I don't know, maybe 12 inches off the paper. And you can get that beautiful spray. Now, I will say that the mica does take time to dry, but it does dry over time, where the dye, like you know, is a dye ink that soaks in the paper and is dry almost immediately. So you can heat set the mica if you want it to dry faster, and it will dry over time. And notice, the edges, you get a little bit of mica in there. You get kind of a big spray there. Then you get a fuchsia burst. And then, I mean, man, to me, that looks like a butterfly wing. It's almost like a shape of the way that I sprayed.
It is. So that's a gorgeous color. I'm going to need like everything in that color. That's so pretty.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah. And I apologize because we were not able to get this to you.
It's okay. It's coming.
In advance. That's the example. Like even 6 months ahead of time, we still can't get it all. So the point is that all this comes as the premium add-on. And this is the way we're going to do it from this way forward. Is we're going to take kind of a classic elements that everybody will get, including the premium kit, that also includes additional elements that enhance. You can still make beautiful cards with the classic version. Classic version's still available, by the way. And unfortunately, the premium kit sold out now because the response was just wonderful. We really appreciate the community giving a try, trusting us because you had no idea what you were getting, uh, and taking a leap into our first premium kit. And we're really excited about it. And I can tell you more about how to subscribe going forward for the premium kit if you like. But basically, it's a 1 month and a 6 month subscription for the classic that's now available, or a 1 month or 6 month for the premium. And the only reason somebody asked, I noticed in the questions, where's the 3 month subscription? We only took that out to make it simple to start. We'll probably bring those back soon, but there would have been 6 choices and trying to figure out which one you wanted. We figured let's just do 4 to start, a 1 and a 6 month in both classic and premium, and then you can decide there. So it was just so many moving parts, so much new. We figured it'd be simple to kind of narrow down the choices for you.
You have a little petition going in the comments for more sprays. And I want to say that Mindy and Maria, I believe both have some videos using the sprays. They got theirs early. So check the comments and you'll see that there's some stuff out there. But there are a lot of people asking for more sprays, just FYI, so you can be ready.
All right. I don't want to give anything away, but I think that's in the works.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all don't
All
tell
right.
anybody.
No, but don't tell anybody. Don't want anybody to know. All right. And one last thing, when you get your kit, you already know, but we're sure that you were upgraded premium, just so you're not surprised.
Nice.
As a subscriber, we just wanted people to know. And there's details about how to subscribe in the card. And one last thing, we have backer cards. You have a regular backer card, and then on your premium backer card, notice that it lists the supplies that come in the premium portion.
Oh, I like that.
Right, so that's the classic that everyone gets. Plus, if you have the premium version, this will show. And of course, the cards that are here are not only the sample cards that you can do with the classic kit, but also a sample card that you can do with the premium elements as well. All right. That is kind of the overview of the kit. Long time in planning. You'd be surprised how much detail goes into just launching a new kit. It's like the design team, Laura was just telling me, and it feels like, at least the first one, feels like we're doing 2 now, which we are, but the reality is that we're trying to really make this exciting for you, and so it's well worth it. I also have some beautiful cards here that I want to show using the premium kit. This is from Jennifer Cotis, who sent us ahead of time. You can see the die that's being used. You can see the layering stencils utilized there beautifully. Obviously the message, the cutout of that frame die. It's really beautiful.
I was amazed when I used this, that just lining up the stencil and the die was so perfect. You can see it on her card. It's beautiful. But so easy to line up and create that perfect frame with something that's ink blended. So that's kind of new too. And I love the little star and moon elements. I thought that was sweet.
It does. It's evocative, right? Of, just imagining all the butterflies and flowers out at night.
Yeah, kind of like a fairy garden feel to me.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think it's got that just kind of wonderful feeling that goes along with it. And so I love this one too, because you can see that, the moon, that's that fairy garden, sparkle that goes along with it. So you kind of imagine the fairy dust flying around the butterflies as they move in their kaleidoscope waves.
Yeah. So on that one, just for the card makers out there, what she did was she cut the frame, right, and put that over some glitter paper. And then she cut a second time after ink blending all these different colors. So that's how she was able to get so many different, like the dark purple butterflies, which is obviously just for Libby, just pandering. Um, and then to get those different colored flowers and different colored butterflies. So think about cutting that twice, and that'll make it twice as versatile to be able to do what she did on this card, because that was a work of art. She's a genius.
It's beautiful. And this one also by Jennifer is using just the color laying stencil. It's in its simple elegance, and I think it's just stunning to see kind of how that, and it also has that ethereal feel because there's that moon and there's that star, and it kind of looks like a kaleidoscope of colors. That's with the reactive palette. And so those colors really kind of pop together with all of that. So yeah, great job, Jennifer. I love those.
I like and you can see how you can go though from mixed media to super clean and simple cards with the exact same stuff this month.
Right, it's true. And so these are the kind of, you can do this with the classic. So just the base materials that come with both kits. If you decide not to get the premium, the classic is still available. Like I said, the premium is now sold out. We did not do our best in planning, although it's easy to say that looking back. We thought we were doing our best to try to
you did your best.
And so if you also then take the premium elements that go with this, we've got some beautiful cards that made from those elements as well. Maria Willis, as well as Jennifer Cotis, sent some cards for me to show off for you.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Maria.
Yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful mixed media piece, right? I mean, this could be in your journal, this could be in your planner, this could be kind of just as it is, as a small format card.
Like a trading card, an artist trading card for anybody who does those. That's stunning.
Right. And using the embossing powder, right? The gold embossing powder, like you say, it definitely has that fairy garden feel.
Yeah. And she went right for, I was drawn to that butterfly too. I'm not surprised we picked the same one. It's beautiful. It has such a dreamy feel with that gray blue in there. It's just gorgeous.
Right. So for those of you looking, right, so that's that rub-on and then cut out with the frame die, right, from this one. So not using the main fancy die, but instead just cutting out the rub-on. Yeah, so it's beautifully done. Here's another one.
Now we need dies for all our rub-ons, so I hope you know that.
I know. We just, we kind of were like, hey, let's make those work together. What a great idea. Sometimes the best mistakes, I don't think that was a mistake, but sometimes the best mistakes can be the most wonderful kind of creative impetus for things.
Yeah.
And again, this is flying over, Peter Pan, and
yeah,
one, again, it has that wonderful feeling. This is Maria. So these are all premium kit elements, right? These are cut out. She's got beautiful twine paper there. I love that.
Yeah, she took apart her Amazon box, y'all. And she took that, you take that corrugated cardboard apart, and it's beautiful on cards. So you can put either the metallic glimmer inks, you could rub embossing ink over it, and I can't tell what she did here, and add gold embossing powder, or you can put the hero pearls in gold and get that look that she got. Maybe, she said it was her cat food box, Aaron.
Nice, Maria. That's a way to recycle.
Yeah, exactly. But I love the way the dies look, even without the rub-ons. They're stunning.
Yeah, no, it's really beautiful. I love that it's cat food box.
I know.
We should put that out. Cat food box. There's a little pack of cat food box torn pieces.
Exactly. The premium kit. You now get a cat food box.
Yeah. Warning: there may be small pieces of cat food in there too.
Right. Sorry.
All right, and then Jennifer Cotis did this. So this is the cutout of the frame die, as well as a rub-on, again cut out with the dies that go in that kit. So this is kind of a wonderful series that match, I think, in so many ways what you could do with the premium elements, similar in look and feel, I think, to what you can do with the classic kit alone.
And those dies are what Hero Arts calls a fancy die, right? Which is a die that has embossing detail as well as cutting detail. So the die in the kit is the same way. It's going to emboss and cut. There are going to be parts that are partially cut and parts that cut all the way through. So those are a good example of a Hero Arts fancy die. And they are fancy, Aaron.
Yeah. Sometimes the most simple words come up, like, we try
Yeah.
to come up with product names. The reason why we call these fancy dies is just so you know that there's more than just a cutout. And this is what we would, if there was no inner, we would just call this a frame die, right? So that it cuts something out specifically designed to go with the frame dies are specifically designed to go with a stamp, or in this case now, maybe rub-ons,
Right.
where the fancy dies can stand alone, right? They're a
Right.
piece of artwork themselves, because not all frame dies, these work particularly well, but not all frame dies actually look like something. Sometimes they just look like blobs.
Right. Right.
Because they're designed to cut something out that has great detail. In this case, these frame dies probably work well on their own too, but that's not really the design of the frame die. It's meant so you don't have to fussy cut things. You don't have to cut out those rub-ons. You don't have to cut out one of these beautiful impressions that you might make on paper, which would look beautiful. But in this case, you can then make that beautiful impression, get that embossed feel, and cut it out so that you can add that dimensional element to your card.
Right. And you can definitely, since we were talking about clipping out the dies, you can definitely separate those two dies like Maria did. So if you wanted just to use the fancy inner part just to create that pattern on a card front, you can do that without also cutting out the shape. So that's just you crafting. You can do either one.
Oh, good tip. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, I'd leave mine flipped. I like them together, but you definitely don't have to.
Oh, you mean you never separate these?
It's very rare that I separate them because they're so perfectly aligned when they're clipped together.
Oh.
So I don't, but you definitely can clip them out, and then you could just have that embossed detail without the frame cutting it out. And then you could, like Maria just said in the comments, which is brilliant, you can then use the frame die to create an opening that you can stencil or ink blend. You can use it like a stencil behind that pattern. So there's a lot of versatility in a fancy die that comes with a frame. So you using all those different parts and pieces, you can use 3, 4, 5 different ways. Those are probably the most versatile dies, is that combo of a fancy die with a frame. So definitely take a look at the blog, because the creative team artists use them in every way conceivable with that combo, but it's a very useful combo. Very, very useful.
Great. And I will have to say one thing, and that is that this die and these things in this kit now, once sold out, although the classic kit still has some available, these will not be sold separately. So that's one of the exciting parts about getting a Hero Arts kit and subscribing, is you're always guaranteed a kit.
Yep.
And the sad part is if you miss it and get sold out, it's not available. However, there is one chance to save it.
That's
and
right.
that is that in October, we do vote for the best kit of the year.
Yep.
So if this kit wins the best kit of the year and you happen to not get it, then come catalog time, this time next year, we will put this out. We put one kit out by popular demand the following year that was the most popular from the previous year. So,
and I don't know anything about the future premium kits, but I'm going to go ahead and predict that the butterfly kit is going to win. I'm calling it now in February.
Yes, it is possible. All right. So now one of the most enjoyable parts of getting your kit set is then we get to design a whole bunch of creative things that do continue to sell,
Yeah.
and are available. Sometimes they could sell out, but they'll come back. We'll restock them, and that are the add-ons.
I
And
love the add-ons. I'm a
yeah, the
big
add-ons. Yeah, and so sometimes we try to put things in add-ons that we know people will continue to want, that we don't want to lock away and never see again in a kit. And we want to be sure, especially the ones that are really versatile, that
right.
don't necessarily go together with other things. Um, in order to make them work, they have a lot of versatility where they can go together with many things. We put those in add-ons, and we really allow that to be something that then we keep active. You continue to buy. Maybe years from now we'll discontinue that, but that continues to sell, and that add-ons don't sell out. And so let's go through some of the add-ons this month, because I think that they really are beautiful complements to what we have.
Yes.
So starting with a cling, which, because Lydia mentioned this,
Oh,
this is
so
a cling
beautiful.
set that is like a close-up of butterfly wing.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, so this is CG904, and this is something that is available. This is also, like I mentioned, this is red rubber that we make in-house, that we make and hand cut by hand. Lydia can probably tell you, as I do, I still have stamps back 35 years ago that still stamp today.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. The thing about vulcanized rubber is not only can it really take a beating, so you can use it with waxes, you could the old iron on velvet technique where you would impress a rubber stamp into a piece of velvet. Not only are they super durable that way, but they're also just temporally durable. I have probably my very first hero art stamps from a redacted number of years ago, and they just keep going.
Yeah, yeah. And we make them that way. Some people, you know, argue, oh, we need more consumables in our business model. I'm like, no, no, no. What we're not going to make things that go bad. We're not going to
Right.
make things that you need to replace. To me, that the best way we can be environmentalist is have things
Yeah,
not need to be recycled, because they continue to stay active for
I agree.
years, decades. They continue to be loved and cherished. And I think that's if you're going to make something, make it happen and make it that way.
Yeah.
Uh, oh yeah, and Michelle's bringing up something I mentioned previously. I've got to find that crab that's missing a tooth that I
Yeah,
designed
we
as a
need
kid, among other things.
to
But that
see
was my
that.
favorite.
You've
Yeah,
been promising that for a long time, and I've
I
yet
have,
to
haven't
see
I?
it.
Okay.
So,
So cards with this, and I'm sure Lydia can tell you better, but some of the techniques
ah,
with this are obviously just stunning. Notice that I love this one because you can turn it any way you want. Like, notice this card uses it this way, right?
oh, yeah.
So, I mean, either way that you use it, I think there's no, like, it kind of looks like it's going that way. This one kind of looks like it's just got those beautiful elements to it. But either way, up or down, that flexibility. And our 6x6 bold prints are specifically designed so that you can turn them sideways and do those things. But man, these cards are beautiful. This is Maria.
Let's
Uh,
talk about Maria's card for a second, because when I first saw Maria's card, the first thing I usually do is I just pass out whenever I see one of Maria's cards dramatically. But on the blue and orange and yellow cards, so the way that you can do this, she did kind of trapping the ink under the embossing. So the way that you can do this at first is go ahead and do on stamp ink blending. So you could do this with Hero Hues. I don't know what she used, but you could do it with the reactive inks or dye inks. And you just use your Misty to ink blend the orange and yellow on the butterfly wing, stamp that, re-ink it with embossing powder, clear emboss it to trap that colored ink under there, and then ink blend the blue on top of that. And that's how you get the foreground and the background colored. So hopefully I'm not lying about your process there, Maria, but I stared at your card for a long time to figure that out. And it's a really beautiful way when you have a really bold background like this. If you trap that first round of color and then ink blend on top of it, it's a really pretty, pretty, pretty card, Maria. I'm giving you gold stars for that. It's beautiful.
and she lists on the back And she also mentioned that she uses the pigments. So she said AF458 rose quartz pigment, AF450 citron pigment, and AF465 canary pigment inks. She also used reactive ink, splash, and blue Hawaii, and then clear embossing powder.
Beautiful. Yeah, give it a try, Karen. It's a fun technique, but that's just a stunning card. And of course, that little alphabet die is the bomb. So
and it's so, the feeling is so wonderful. It's got that tactile element to it as well. Well, so that's that one. We also, well, I'll now switch to kind of, here's one of the ones that we knew were going to kind of be tried and true, right? More butterflies, because we figured there wasn't enough butterflies in the kit. We wanted you to really be able to kind of get into your butterflies. And these are basically the rub-ons kind of as stamps. So you have all the options really to kind of do that and play with that. Here, I'll just grab the rub-ons. So you notice that some of the rub-ons have been duplicated here, kind of in size and dimension. And of course, these have their own frame cuts if you want an SB with the frame cuts, right? So this is that, or just the clear. And that is CM 687. And here's a card.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, here's a card. That this one is by Jane Nelson. And this is a kind of beautiful set of colors, tone on tone, really kind of elegant, layered. And I love that message.
Yeah, that's great. And we love the dies with the sentiments, Aaron. I'm just speaking for everybody now, like I can, but we do.
Oh, good. Yes.
So great.
All right. Thank you, Jane, for providing that. I, of course, could not have made all these beautiful cards. This show would be quick if we didn't have all these great cards sent in. And then here's those sentiments we're talking about, kind of with some flowers that, of course, butterflies love nesting on. There's so much milkweed around kind of our area all fall. And so hopefully there's going to be a bumper crop of butterflies that pop up. And these messages, I think, are perfect with that. And here's a card that goes with this.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I love that element to it, too. I think that's the Hero Pearls. Let's see if she says what she does.
Oh, those are the enamel dots.
Oh, yeah, those are the enamel dots. You're right.
And Circle Infinity dies, the most useful dies in the world. I love them. I use them on literally almost every card. They're great.
Nice. Yeah, this has got really nice dimension to it.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one of our favorite products, too, is that we love doing these kind of 3 picks. I love the packaging, too, on the Looking Glass dies because, 1, they're small size and they work in our compact cutter, and 2, that they kind of add that layering element in dies that otherwise you can get with stencils or clear stamps. But in this case, you can really get kind of that feeling in a die sequence if you decide to use it that way. This is DF 117, and here's a great example of how that is used.
This one's a little different from the other Looking Glass dies, and I love it. It has like a folk art feel.
It does.
Like
it's
Scandinavian almost design.
Yeah.
Really.
You're absolutely right. And we wanted to get away as much as possible. I think that's why you have kind of add-ons like this. So you can add kind of diversity to the styles and techniques that you use because there's flowers and messages there. And this is kind of a very different look and design of butterflies. Some of them are moths. That is true. A lot of the designs, butterflies and moths, are very similar in their look. And so some of the artwork that we did, we used kind of moth kind of inspiration in order to get that design. And this is very European, I think, in its look and feel. I really think it's quite beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous. And I agree with you, Neva, that moths get a bad rap sometimes. I don't know why, because I love them. But you can see in the rub-ons, like this little guy right here, that's a moth. And there are a couple other moths scattered throughout the release. And I'm team moth with you. I love moths.
Yes, me too. All right, the next item. This is definitely close to Lydia's heart. So there we go.
Oh, yeah.
You've got CM685, which is these mixed media elements.
Beautiful.
Where did my
Uh-oh, we lost your, there we go.
So these mixed media elements, I think, are quite beautiful. It's 4 pieces there in clear. We thought about doing this in rubber, and I think rubber does have that kind of nice impression, but in clear, I think it gives it a little bit more of a distressed look, where rubber is a little bit more exact in its printing, and you can distress the design, of course, but this one worked, I think, much better in clear. But again, the red rubber also works beautifully, and here's a card sample that goes with it that uses those elements kind of in a beautiful way.
My comment earlier about using clear backgrounds for a completely different purpose than you use cling backgrounds. Let me see if you can see this. One of the things that you can do with, especially this little set of backgrounds that I do all the time, is I don't use them with a block or anything. I use them with my hands, and I curve them and just partially ink and partially stamp some of the backgrounds. And this background in particular is perfect for that, for art journaling or mixed media cards. So I like to take clear backgrounds and manipulate them like that without using them to be perfect. You can use just little bits and pieces of the background in a way that's a little bit different than cling stamps. So I love that about these little backgrounds. I'm glad that they're in the add-ons and they're sticking around for a while because they're fantastic. Taco stamping. Marie is called taco stamping. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was the term, but it's perfect. Taco stamping it is. You heard it here first on the Hero Arts channel.
So. There we go. All right. We also have yet another collection of beautiful butterflies, and I love kind of how you now have this element as well. So you really get that little hidden element in there that gives you the feel for, the wonders of the evolution of the process. Spread your wings, write a great message to go with it. This set either comes just as the clear or with a clear and die set. The dies cut out the messages as well as the images. So this is CM686 and the set of SB357 if you want the bundle of the clear and the frame cut that goes with it. And by the way, if you get the Get Them All, the Get Them All always includes this one that has the dies as well as the clear. The Get Them All does not include this one because otherwise you'd get 2 of the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so here's
a lot of people in the comments were talking about how realistic the milkweed and the butterfly is and that they love that. So
yeah. So it was easy just to go out in the garden in November around here because we actually had a pretty warm November. So I think that the butterflies were thriving during the period where they were, going to chrysalis and eating all the milkweed. I don't know if you've watched these little guys, but man, the Very Hungry Caterpillar, that children's book, is so true. They can devour a whole milkweed plant.
It's so true. Yeah, you got to have lots and lots of plants.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a beautiful card.
It is.
Jane Nelson again. And then...
Oh, and Gail pointed out a good point about what you just said about the buy them all. If you're getting the buy them all, you get this stamp and die bundle. Just remember, you can't buy the dies separately. So if you want the dies, go ahead and get the bundle or get them all add-ons.
Exactly. Yes. The dies don't come separately. They only come as that bundle, but either the bundle or the clear are sold separately. So you can buy those individually. Just make your choice. And then the Get Them All includes the one with the dies by default. And this is a beautiful background. Again, handmade cling. This is the 6x6 version, what we call bold prints. We kind of like giving names to things. I don't know, differentiates them as opposed to saying 6x6, which sounds very technical. Bold prints. It's a bold print. And you can obviously stamp it this way. You can move it around on your card. This is a true kaleidoscope of butterflies here. We should have named it that. CG 903. And then here's wonderfully colorful card that adds those elements. Kind of the contrast of black paper with a white message really pops on this. And then you see the cutout of the butterfly from the clear set. That's also an add-on. And if you buy the bundle, you get the frame cut as well, so you don't have to fussy cut it.
That's a beautiful one.
Yeah, thank you, Jane. And then one additional product that I can't give you a card sample for, because like I said, this got delayed. I think that we put the script, which I think is beautiful, and this is a great background for versatility, because I think you can use this in a lot of ways. We didn't have this in time because the script was a little too fine, so we had to kind of make the lines a little bolder, which is why this got delayed. And I don't have a card sample for it, but this is the stencil, which is available now. It is shipping. It's just that I don't have a card sample to show you now because we didn't give the card orders enough time. But you'll see them as they come. I
can't wait for that one with hero paste. Don't steal my idea, y'all. It's going to be so pretty with hero paste.
All right. Yeah, don't tell anybody. All right. So that comes to the end. Libby told Lydia and I to just do an hour, because otherwise people get bored. So
are y'all bored? Sorry.
I apologize for going long, but I've got a few more things to say if people wait just one more minute. So the subscription page is now launched, heroarts.com/subscribe, or you can go to the top of our website where it says subscribe. And that is a place where you can make your choice if you want to just buy them, the kits as they come. Just one-time purchase, you're welcome to. Just know you will run the risk of them selling out, like the premium kit did today. Actually, it sold out yesterday, and the classic kit is going in that direction too. My guess is it will sell out in the next couple days as well. So if you subscribe, though, you're guaranteed a kit. You can do 1 month for the classic, or you can do 1 month for the premium. And basically that just means that auto renews each month until you decide to cancel, and you can cancel anytime as long as you do it by the 25th of before launch of the next month. Or the 6-month version. 6-month version is a little different because you pay up front for 6 months, where the monthly is you pay as you go, right? You pay 1 month and you get your kit, and then you pay another month. You get your kit unless you decide to cancel. It keeps going. And the 6-month version is you pay up front for 6 months.
Save a little money.
That you save money because that is cheaper. It's $2 cheaper than the regular one-off kit. If you just want to come and buy a kit, it'll cost $36.99 for the classic or $49.99 for the premium. And if you get the 1 month, you get $2 off per month. And if you get the 6 month, you get $4 off per month of either kit. So you choose your decision. And we just added, if anybody's a Hero Rewards member, I strongly recommend being one, because we're about to add a bunch of new rewards that you can get with your points. You also get, for everything you buy, 1 point for every $1 you spend on our website, including your subscriptions. But if you get a 1 month subscription, if you get a classic subscription, you get a bonus of 25 points. And if you get a premium subscription, you get a bonus of 50 points for those 6 months. So that's in addition. So it's almost like double points for your kit only. So if you love those rewards, watch for new rewards being added. We're going to do that. We just didn't have time this week. We had a couple things going on, but we will. We've got a number of new things that we're going to put up in the rewards that you can use with your points, or you can turn in 150 points to get $5 off each time you check out, or 300 points is $10, etc. Up and up as you like. So that's just kind of a way to thank everybody for being a kind of a member, to continue to shop at Hero Arts, and just to thank everybody for being, inspiring. And we just love this community. And to close, you might have noticed behind me, I do have one more thing to mention, and that is coming out February 20th is our spring catalog.
It's beautiful too.
So you get to see all the various pages. There'll be a flip book available February 20th. All the products go on sale. Don't have to buy it from us. Store near you will also have it. Independence will have it. There has been a preview that's been out there, what we call Shop Box, that has a few products that go to stores, so that we give those independents a real way to inspire customers like you to come into the store and shop in advance of us releasing it. And then everybody can sell the full catalog, all the products in there, starting on February 20th. So
it's a real hardship as a creative team member to sit on that information for 6 months and not talk about all the cute spring stuff that we know is coming. But it's really, it's if you love spring, if you're tired of the dark months, you're going to love what's in this catalog. It's beautiful. And
Yes.
we'll have a blog hop. The team will have a blog hop to show you all this beautiful stuff. So
great. Oh, sorry. And I've got one more thing. I forgot. Maria sent me some cards that she did, which are just stunning, done with the digital kit.
Oh, yeah. So, Maria's the queen of the digital kit.
Yeah. So you have these beautiful kind of samples that Maria did using the digital kit, which is always available, of course. And that is something that is sorry, my phone is in the background.
It sounds like the future is talking to you. What's going on?
Yes. And Maria did say specifically that she does not have experience with digital software.
Yes.
And was very excited that she was able to open the butterfly images in Word document.
She's the master. She's done such beautiful things. And this digital kit, y'all are going to love it. The images are so detailed and perfect.
And you can just open up in Word. So even if you don't have digital software, no problem. Right. The images, and she did not use the brushes. She just printed them out. And I mean, these images are kind of just really beautiful and
look
stunning.
How gorgeous that is.
So,
love
all
it.
Right. Just wanted to be sure you guys saw that, because Maria took the time to do that, and I almost forgot.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you rock. Another gold star for Maria. And Tammy put in the comments, for those of you with questions about if you're already a kit subscriber, how do you switch to the premium kit and all that stuff, there's a phenomenal FAQs page that Tammy linked to in the comments. And if not, you can find it from the kit page. But all your questions will be answered there. So thank y'all so much for being here today. It was great talking to all of you, chatting. Love to see your comments. And Tammy has just announced our winner, Alicia Tolman. Please email info@heroarts.com to claim your prize. And thank you so much for being here. Thanks, Aaron. That was great. You're a pretty good Libby, I have to say.
Cannot replace Libby for sure, but I did my best, and it was a lot of fun being with you, Lydia. I couldn't have done without you.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, y'all. And we will see you next month for the March Spotlight.
Ooh, sounds fun. All right.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you all.